Yo, Monday the 16th of June. We have a full house. We have Rebel in the house. We have Colm in the house. And we have a really excited Yabber in the house. Guys, there was so much news over the weekend. Obviously, you know how it is with the weekend. We've all got something else to do. But look, we're back on Monday, so we will have a rerun of that. We will talk Rashford. We will talk striker choices. Ekatika seemed to be the big one over the weekend. But I want to start with you, Yabba. You're smiling and you're rocking in the chair. How you doing, big man?
Oh, wow. I just want to say, take a bow, Colin. I just see the intro for the first time. Fantastic. This is a fan channel. It's fantastic. We want to see moments like that. We've seen some wonderful goals there in the intro. The first one, George Best riding the challenge from Hacker, Ron Chopper Harris. And then, you know, on a terrible pitch, probably our greatest ever player, George Best, riding the challenge from Chopper Harris, getting through, slotting it home. We've seen the youngest ever scorer at the World Cup, Norman Whiteside, back in 1982. In 1985, scoring probably one of my favourite goals against Everton to win the FA Cup. And then after that, I know we saw overhead kicks and everything else, but it's all about teamwork, isn't it? And being telepathic with your team is a wonderful thing. York and Cole is probably the best strike partnership when you talk about friendship, partners, playing for each other, telepathic. And we saw it at the highest stage against Barcelona there with that goal in the intro. Guys, if you haven't seen the intro, make sure you go and check it out. Take a bow, Colin. Those goals make me excited and get me stirred up for a show. So even if we just lost 10-0 like Auckland City, I would watch that intro and be super boosted and excited. But wicked, yeah. Man United agenda is where it's at. Thank you, guys.
Rebel, how you doing, big man?
Hey, I'm not too bad at all. Got through the old the Monday slog, but not only did Colin reinvent the intro, but look at this snazzy new logo that he gave us. Look at this beautiful thing. Look at it. Look at it.
Show your face, Rebel. Move your head.
That's it. Get out of the way.
But you mentioned Georgie Best, and this is something that's in my personal collection. A Georgie Best 4 of 4 card that has a piece of one of his match-worn jerseys inside in the middle of it.
Nice.
Don't leave that in your house now, Rebel. Don't leave that hanging around your house. Colm, how you doing, my man? The guy behind the revamp and the redesigning. I'm going to thank you again personally on air. I said I thanked you enough. I'm going to keep thanking you, though, to be fair. But Colm, take a bow, son. And how you doing, big man?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Tired. It's been a long day today for me. But I'm happy it's coming out looking as it has done. So, seeing everybody's reactions, But I will say, guys, come on. You need to join me. You need to join me up here in these wonderful studios that
I've got. I'll sit in my home studio. I'm used to home comforts. But look, let me say a couple of howdies talking about home comforts. Let's get these howdies in. Solo in the house. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, boss. Oh, look who it is. We've got 2 of them. Andrew, we see you, man. All right, lads. Still one in out, one out. Let's get it going. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Sub-vids. Evening, lads. Art Serious Fan. Good evening. All the new logo looks good. Stephanie Griffiths. Say good evening, Mr. B, Rebel, Yabber, and Cole. Matty Bassett in the house. Tubbsy. All right, lads. It's a new one. Welcome to the madness, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Alan Harris. We see you in the house. Sub-vids. Did I say hello to you already? And who else don't we have before we... Ooh, Linville. How you doing, man? I hope the family is doing well, my friend. Let's see who else is in the house. There we go. Look, we're in the house as well. Please give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. We're on our way to 4K. Long overdue, to be fair. Showing love to the new logo. Appreciate it. All right, so it was quite a busy weekend. Saturday night, it all went off. Gyökeres, we are not his first choice, which, look, let's be really honest. They've got Champions League. They can offer everything we've got. Champions League football, more than us. Wages, maybe that could be debatable whether or not Arsenal would pay more than we would. But they've got team structure there, 1 or 2 players away from, really, really challenging for the league. Whether or not he's the final piece of the puzzle is to be debatable. If you listen to some Arsenal fans, they don't want him. They don't like his style of play. We've got United fans, to be fair, who don't like his style of play. So it all went off. He didn't want us. I'll be honest. I have no problem if we still go in and get him because he's still a class striker. And I don't think it would be an issue. Yeah, we might be second choice, but players always fall in love with Man United. It might only be for 2 seasons, but that first season might all we need to get ourselves back into Champions League contention. There, Yabba. So guys, thoughts on the weekend? Thoughts on the whole Gyökeres situation, and do we still have a chance? Do you think that he's still on our radar now that we've gone on to Ikatike? But we'll talk about him in a bit. So Cole, give me your thoughts, man.
I still think we're in for Gyökeres regardless, because the news that I've seen today is that Arsenal are not going to pursue Gyökeres because they feel like Sporting's demands are too high and they're not willing to meet them. So that kind of rules it out unless Sporting are willing to drop down. They won't do that. They don't have to sell Gyökeres, do they? Let's be real. They don't have to. So yeah, I think Arsenal will get Sesko, and I still believe Gyökeres will be coming to United.
Confident, Rebel.
Well, as you know, over the years we've been linked with every single dog and their mother in terms of players. But interestingly, we've been reading for the last couple of weeks about Mbeumo is going to follow Frank to Spurs, and that's been bare bull. You know what? And we're starting to see now situations where there's people coming out contradicting the Portuguese papers. Record Portugal, I think, was the one that broke that Arsenal were the ones in main pursuit now, and that United were being told no. But as much as I call him the tapping merchant, Fabrizio Romano was pretty much within 10 minutes saying, that's bare, you know what? So I'm still hopeful that we can get Gyökeres. I'm still hopeful. Well, I reckon, thanks to Mr. B reassuring me in the chat before we went live that we're going to get Mbeumo done. So that means now we have to shift a couple of characters that were in the squad last season because they're obviously surplus to requirements. But I think, Mr. B, both you and me would like somebody with a bit of steel that would kick the living you-know-whats out of people in the centre of midfield next to Bruno, wouldn't we?
Listen, I'm sick of bombshells. I just want everything to be nice and peaceful, everything to be predictable. I can't do the disappointment that I got on Saturday night again. Yabba.
Yeah, how you doing, man? Yeah, I just want to shout out Linville. He's saying here, Rebel sounds like he grew up in a Jamaican household. Yeah, he's been hanging around me and Miss B too long. And dogs. Yeah, you know what they say about Irish and something and dogs. But anyway, yeah, this news came out. Let me just paint the picture here because I don't know everything. You guys are gonna have to fill in the gaps here. It's Victor Gyökeres. What's the name, Mr. B?
Just say Victor, please, because every time
there's two. So Victor, Swedish Victor, has already fallen out with Sporting. So it looks like he's definitely leaving. Then there was news that he wants to come to Man United. That from this thing you be said on Saturday that we're not going for him or he's not number one choice, whatever's been said, it seems to put every United fan now thinks we're not going in for him. I'm with Rebel, I'm with Colin. I do think it's still on. I just think there's a lot of news comes out. Arsenal are disrespecting the man like they did with Ibrahimovic when they said, come on trial. And Ibrahimovic said, no, I don't take trials. Or like they did with Luis Suarez when they tried to pay stupid money for him, a penny below whatever it was at the time. That kind of thing is stupid. Arsenal are disrespecting the player. They value Cisco. They're showing that by showing him the respect. And you can show me respect too by putting my face back on. Yeah, there you go. Not joking. So I think they're showing him disrespect by coming in lowballing him like that. He's going to thinking, you know, I'm the top goal scorer in Europe. Show me some respect here. I think he's still on for Man United. I really do. So don't give up on him yet. I know what happens. We don't need him anyway. He's rubbish. As soon as we hear that, don't do that, guys. Whatever you do, stay cool because I think it could still be on. What's happening a few years ago? We were going for our first targets, weren't getting them. Going for our B targets, weren't getting them. C targets, we ended up with down the list getting poor signings because we couldn't attract them. Now we're not supposed to be an attractive club, but already we got Cunha coming in. Looks like Mbeumo's coming in. These are our first choices, and I'm going to go 3 in a row and say Victor, Swedish, is probably going to be next. Don't believe the hype. You have to read between the lines. That's what we're here for. We break it down. We chip away at the news and understand what's really being said and what's really going on. Nothing decisive yet. Just watch this space. And when it does come out, all of us will say, I told you so. Because Mr. B, I think, is the only one who says it's done.
All right, look, I'm going to go for a couple of these. I started a couple of these. Colin, did I hear from you just now? I did, didn't I? I didn't bypass you, did I?
Yeah,
no, you spoke to me.
Oh, I could it's don't worry, man. My memory's dead. We deserve better. I hope you're doing well, man. Welcome back to the madness, my friend. Welcome back to the madness. So we've got a couple of these. Retro saying he's happy with the new logo. So here we go. Happy with the new logo. Not sure what the lion did there. Don't worry, man. You gave us the kick up the backside that we probably needed, to be fair. Linville is saying that Arsenal are going to get Sesko. Andrew said we got a 15% chance of getting Gyökeres. They used Linville again. They're using Gyökeres to get more money down from Sesko. The money down from Sesko. Here we go from Bart. I can't think of a single reason for Gyökeres to come to United during his prime other than Amarin's presence. He scored quite a few pens last season too. Well, those will be gone because Bruno will be taking them. But that's a fair point. That's a fair point, to be fair, Bart. Even if he doesn't go to Arsenal, I still think we've got it all to do to get him. Here we go again from Simon. We spend all our time trying to get Gyökeres and he drops a bombshell. He can go to Spurs for all I care or play abroad. As Yabba said, come on now. Let's just keep cool, you know. Limbo is saying that it sounds like Rebel grew up with me and Yabba. Yeah, yes, as Yabba said, he's been with us long enough. Stephanie, she said Gyökeres has put huge pressure on himself by not controlling his agent. But Gyökeres should go for around 105 million. That's what Enzo went for, in spite of playing in Portugal for around 6 months. You've spent your money, man. Just leave us in peace, man. If Andrew's saying if Victor wanted to come to us, he would be a bit thick. Let's see if there's any more in this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. There's one from the boss man. He's there preaching. He's begging your money. If you got it to spare, by all means. See, all means. Look at this, and we deserve better. Everyone seems to be playing everyone else. Yeah, I think that could be well what's going on. I think one will start and then they'll know. I mean, look, I will still take Gyökeres. I don't have an issue, guys. There's 51 of us in here watching by some magical magic. Look, just hit the like button. It doesn't take much. We are on our way to 4K. If you're new to the channel and you like the rebranding, look, just give us a subscribe. You also will become members. We've got a few coloured badges. The best one, you have to be here for 5 years, but when that pops up, you'll see what it is. But
sorry, Mr. B.
Yeah.
Mr. B. Am I right? So me, Rebel, and Colin all think that it's bluff. It's a bluff news that Swedish Victor is not coming to Man United. Did that news turn your head? Because you started this report by stating it's done with, and what happened over the weekend, big revelation. Do you believe in that?
No, I think he's going to come. I still think he's going to come.
Oh,
because,
right. Okay.
as Linville said already, Arsenal want Sesko. Maybe the board don't want Sesko, but Arteta wants Sesko. You know, let's be honest. If they get what the player Arteta doesn't want, and you know it doesn't work out, then so I think they should back the manager. He's been there 5 years. Their process is long. If I was them, I'd be going for the proven striker, but he wants the younger one so that maybe it takes the pressure off himself, league title wise. Go for him. Leave Gyökeres. Give us the free run at Gyökeres. And I don't have an issue with it at all. He's not my number one. Osimhen is my number one, but he's out of the window. So Gyökeres, I have absolutely no problem with at all.
I think people are misjudging what's been said in regards to Gyökeres. Because all the news was he's come out and said he will not come to United. He hasn't said that. He said he's prioritising what happens at Arsenal first. So if he doesn't make the move to Arsenal, why would he not make the move to United? Because he's interested in coming to United. He's just waiting to see what happens over at Arsenal. That's all the story was. And people have gone, oh, no, he said he's not coming. Oh, no, meltdown, he's not coming. But he hasn't said he's not coming.
See? I'm happy for a month. I'm happy. It's still open. As Colm said, there is still a chance. Whether or not it has dropped down, we will have to see. But I've got one for you. But can I come on the show for subscribe to the first team player membership? I like to feature in the aftermath of games versus Liverpool. My friend, I have no problem. You pay your money, you get your perks. Come Friday night, as I said, I'm looking to do the Friday night Premier League show. You are more than welcome to come on every week, to be fair, to voice your opinion, if that's what you want to do. But you know what you have to do to get that perk, along with everybody else. If you want to light me up on a Friday night, it's a bit more relaxed than this one. You probably have a little drink in your hand, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So yeah, but you know what you need to do, and that's along with everybody else watching. Tyrone, good evening. If Rashford stays at Man United next season, I'm going to lose my shit. We'll talk about that. In a bit.
Can I bring up a bit of news that I've just seen, Mr. B? Because I want to get the chat's opinion on this. They're saying that the solution to Anthony's departure in a permanent move to Real Betis could be a co-ownership agreement lasting for 2 years before the partnership would either be bought out or they would sell and United would have a lion's share of the transfer. They're talking about 20 million for us to share ownership with Real Betis. What do you think of that?
You're on mute, Amanda. You're on mute.
Forgive me. Do you think is this what you're just talking about, similar to what Tevez and Mascherano were under, sort of players being owned? And
no, I don't think it's as spooky as that. To be fair, that was some dodgy shit.
Okay. Because by the way, I would sign Tevez tomorrow after what he did in that sports charity game yesterday. He still looks ready to go. Did anyone see Tevez score 4 goals? Wow.
Yeah, but I preferred Angry Ginge smashing into him.
I didn't watch it.
I just saw the highlights. I didn't watch it either. But wow, just sort of say it's not. It's just, I don't think it's fair having professionals playing against these guys, especially when they're only like 2 years. Jack Wilshere and Jude Defoe, they shouldn't be playing. They're too good. Anyway, it's a no from me. I'd rather take the money for Anthony. And Betis better pay up. The fans will want him, and by any means necessary, because he's become a fan favourite over there for what he did. And let's be honest, Anthony.
You know what the deal is. So basically, they want to give us 20 million euros, and it sounds like a 50% of a future sell on. Whether or not they're willing to give, I mean, that sounds like the whole of their budget. I mean, they are frass, and they're going to spend it all on one player. So I think that's more where they're trying to go with it, and I just can't see how United are going to go for that when we say we need them, do need the money, we want him gone. So I just don't see it. Could you see maybe a loan for another season with obligation to buy if they take the whole of his wages?
No, they've had to try before you buy already. Fork up the money if you want him, and if you don't want him, piss off so we can sell him somewhere else.
I like this. Cole's getting. I like that. Hopefully, they will be getting as lethal as that. So, guys, there's 62 of you in here, and we're only on we're not on 62 likes. I'm expecting 62 likes, no, but I would take 25. Actually, I tell her like I'd take 30. Tyrone is saying, guys, I've looked into the stats and done some research. If we sign Wimble, I think Ekitike is more Ekitike is more suited to Man United. Gyökeres was good in the Championship and in the Portuguese league. Prem is hard. I've got something to show you coming up as well about that.
I'll disagree with that statement, but
yeah, go on. That's what you're there for.
Let's bump heads.
Gyökeres is a goal scorer. Ekitike isn't. Ekitike prefers.
Let me get this. Sorry, let me get this off. Sorry, that's a disrespect.
Yeah,
sorry.
Ekitike prefers to drop in and play the ball, such as a Joshua Zirkzee that we currently have. That's what he prefers to do. Whereas we know Gyökeres gets on the end of the balls and puts them into the back of the net. We don't need an Ekitike, and we especially don't need an Ekitike for 100 million. So that's the going price. That's how much they want for him.
You know, look, I want to hear what Tyrone said. Tyrone said he'd work better. He's been doing some research, or whatever. I just like Ekitike. I think he's younger. Good. Victor's like 28 or something. I think you've got more room for growth. I think he's a big talent, and I think he's ready for the move. Frankfurt, obviously, you're right, Colin. What they're asking for is ridiculous. But, you know, I keep changing my order. I think Victor is a good player, but there is a question mark. I think with Ekitike is a promising young talent who's done the business in France, got signed by PSG, obviously couldn't get in the side, gone to Frankfurt, and proven that he's got something about him by scoring goals out there and scoring goals in the Europa League as well. The thing I like about him, Colin, is that he's 6'2", he's strong, he's wiry, he's pacey, and not only can he do what you mentioned there, come link up the play, he does get on the end of things. You see him scoring headers and everything else. So he's more complete. He's got more to his arsenal, I think, than someone like Gorkaev. Yuri Gorkaev. I keep getting it wrong.
Yeah, you always get it wrong.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I would be happy with TK if the price is right. Bruce Forsyth said that.
My rebuttal to that on Monday is you said prospect. He has prospect. Manchester United do not need prospects at the moment. We've had Rasmus -9 Højlund as a prospect. He hasn't done anything for us. You know, his returns have been awful. We need a proven, older goal scorer. We do not need any more learner drivers.
Fair point.
Yeah, I was going to actually make the same point because if you remember not too long ago when we were in the market for a striker, we had a choice of Harry Kane at one price or Rasmus Højlund, and we took the cheap option and said, look, long-term financial investment and resaleability and all this other stuff. But the problem was there wasn't a senior man sitting in front of him to basically for him to learn the tools of the trade from, and we were bare bumbleclat all over the pitch. But Ekitike, the comment that caught my eye is the comparisons to Anthony Martial, because who was saying that? Who was saying that in the chat? Who was saying that all day? Look, he could turn around to be an absolute baller. Don't get me wrong. But you're basically looking for he might work, as opposed to I actually prefer to have Akuna Matata, aka Mateta, joining Cunha up front, then bring in an unproven person in the Premier League.
Okay, well look. Before we go any further, we've got Rajat. Welcome, my friend. He wants Ekitike.
Yeah.
Andrew Williams is saying Ekitike could be good, but it's very, very, very risky. Linville is saying we don't want a prospect. Somebody that might be good. Stephanie is saying Ekitike is yet another expensive, risky potential player. That's a no from me too. Bart is saying he's tall and lanky and a bit lean too. So look, sorry, Yabba, I'll let you go on.
I thought you were talking about me. You set me up there. All right. Yeah, he is tall, lanky. And this is something you talk about the Premiership and everything. He can hold off defenders. I watched him against Spurs, Frankfurt against Spurs in the Europa League. he proved in that game against Spurs defense that he's a worry. He, like Colin said, drops off defenders, gets into areas where they can't pick him up. He gets on the end of things as well. He's skillful. He can turn, drive. He can link up the play. He's got it all. And as I was saying that, Mr. B backed me up by just dropping this graphic here, which demonstrates that at 22 or 23 years old, 6-7 years difference from Victor Swedish, he pees all over Rasmus. He pees over Mateta.
Can I just say, everybody pees over Rasmus. As you can see, guys, Rasmus is just small. That looks a bit like the bullseye right in the middle of that graph. Guys, obviously, if you're watching it on your phone, I'll try and get it up. I know a lot of people watch it on their phone. So we've got Ekatike, who is the dark blue. His action areas are high, and he's pass. What is that? Pass receiving. I'm going to assume that is, isn't it? That's the higher one. So you can see his stat. Dockeres is obviously more purple, pink. And his action areas, you can see his no penalty goal, so you can know where to focus on, and his aerial ability. Obviously Mateta is in the middle. He's sort of a mix of everything. He's only sort of is the passing into the box, which probably means players running past him. And obviously you've seen Rasmus at the end. So I just wanted to explain that to guys before. Oh, we've got the big boss man donating his paycheck. Not all of it, obviously, but some of it. That's appreciated, man. Thanks for showing the love. Thanks for showing the love. So, guys, sorry, see ya, but I'll let you go with that, guys. Looking at these stats, has it changed? Has it changed anything? And retro, yeah, perfect. Rasmus striker at embryo, yeah. That shows the level that he's actually at the moment. Let me get that off, guys. Have the stats up there shown anything? Have you seen anything in Ekatike that you didn't see before? Obviously, we knew what Ocares does. And Mateta, obviously, I'm looking at his stats now. I was hoping they would have been a little bit closer to the other players, the two players that we're more interested in. But obviously, I think he probably plays a different style. So, guys, get talking. Guys in the chat, get talking. What you guys thinking, man?
If you look in, sorry, go on, Raoul.
No, you go first.
Okay. Yeah, if you're looking at those graphs there, obviously, let's just forget about Rasmus. There's no point looking at that one. If you're looking at them, if you want somebody that's going to be a bit more of an overall player, yes. Ekatike seems to fit that. He plays the passes into the box more than what Gyökeres does. He comes back to receive passes more than what Gyökeres does. But do you want a player that's going to be doing that, or do you want somebody just to be, right, you're our striker, go and score us goals? Because if you do, judging by this graph, we want Gyökeres because his attack actions are more, his aerials more, his MPGs more, his XGs more. So it all depends on what you want, I suppose. So I still think for what the price is for Ekatike, it's still too much of a risk, regardless of this graph. It's still too much of a risk for me.
Yeah. I just saw a very clever comment that amused me from Stephanie. She's saying we're looking at the Steffi graph. But yeah, the one thing that I was going to say, and somebody else beat me to it in the comments, is we are comparing different leagues. Rasmus, I think, as we all know, I'm not going to poo-poo the lad any further than he already has been. He's been playing the same league as Mateta, and Mateta's stats are vastly better than his. But then I look at the main two, the Victor that we have in the graph and Mr. Ekatike. And it makes you wonder how important to us is an aerial threat, because I think a lot of last season, we were getting talk about how we were getting bullied in the air, how that we had very little attacking threat in the air. And if you're looking to add that piece of a jigsaw into it, going off the graph, you'd say that obviously Victor Gyökeres is the superior candidate and that he'd offer that aerial threat that it's claimed that we're lacking. Now, the other thing is, though, he did play in the Portuguese league, and how comparable in terms of quality of opposition is that with the Premier League compared to the Bundesliga? The Bundesliga obviously has your Borussia Dortmunds, your Mönchengladbachs, your Bayern Munichs, and your Schalkes. So there's a lot of good quality teams up there. And if he's putting out that output at that age in that league, you'd have to say maybe there's something to be said for him. Because if you remember, when we signed Martial, we signed him from the Farmers League. His stats were not based on a league that is the quality of the Bundesliga. So, looking at that graph, it does give me pause for thought. But, again, he's a young striker, and at this moment in time, we don't have the luxury of a learning curve to be able to cut his teeth in the Premier League. We need someone that can bang now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you guys talk a lot of sense there. It's all relative to the league that you're in. That's why we know Mateta. We see him. We see him week in, week out. FA Cup winners, Palace. We saw what he did against us for the last couple of seasons. We know what he's about. I don't really fancy him. Age. I don't think he would offer us that much. But if we're talking about Victor versus Ekitike, I think, like Rebel said, it's relative to your league. He's doing it in the German league, not for the best team, but for a team that's challenging for the top half of the table with Frankfurt. Whereas Victor's doing it for one of the best team. 2 years running, they've been the best team in Portugal. So he's got probably the best tactics, best system around him to feed him to score goals. So it's all relative. We have to consider, we really do have to consider that when we're talking about this Victor guy, because I think he's bullying a lot of players in the Portuguese league with his pace, power, running power, and that sort of thing. I don't think he can get away with that in the Prem. I really don't. You see it time and time again when you see these players come against Premiership defenders and suddenly they can't do what they thought they could do. You see it with Anthony going to Betis. Suddenly he's able to do what he could do in the Dutch league. Couldn't do that. Don't even dare try that against any Premier League defender. It wouldn't be happening. So I'm more swaying towards Ekitike now because of the being relative about where he's at. I know there's a question mark about what there's a potential or the prospect of him being good, but I'm saying he's good now. He's good now, and he's someone who would really click and blow up playing for us right now. Really talented player, and I'm really happy that we are actually being linked with him right now. If you have to pay the money, look, we paid stupid money for Rasmus. We paid stupid money for Anthony. We paid stupid money for Jadon Sancho. This is what we do. Big clubs do spend money.
Yeah, but we can't be spending money stupidly, though.
We're acting like we're not a big club. Oh, don't spend that's too much. Listen, we're Manchester United Football Club, man. We pay big money. Look at the Pogba money. Look at the Sancho, Anthony.
What have we got from it, though? What have we got from it, though?
That's what we have to do sometimes. So don't be confounded by that. We might have to pay that again for quality. And I guarantee, trust me, by Christmas, everyone will be skinning and saying, thank God we bought Ekitike, if that's the case. Because you've seen the graphic. Go and check him out. Let's do our research. Go and check him out for real. And soon, everyone will be coming back saying, yeah, actually, this is the guy we need to get.
Right. One thing I want to ask you just on that point, just before we drop in. Liverpool, thanks for the £2 donation, big man. We want a monster up front, and that's Gyökeres. So he's disagreeing with you. There's one thing I just want to ask. When the ball is fired up to him, does the ball stick? Does he have the strength to hold off a Premier League forward? Answer me that. The videos I've seen, the bits I've seen of him, is him skipping down the wing, not a la Rashford because he's got more finishing, but he seems to be slight. Is he going to have the physical ability to hold the ball off when it comes into him, to hold off the defender? That's the part that I want to know.
There's some breaking news from the gaffer, Mr. B.
I don't care. Yes. Nobody's answered my question. That question was to you, but the gaffer can wait.
Yeah.
And Cole, come on, somebody answer me.
My answer is yes, he can. Look, when you're 6'2", 6'3", You can just, if you know, look, it doesn't matter. You talk about trying to have the size.
How
to do
tall
it.
is -9?
Forget that. -9 looks bigger and stronger than him, but he can't hold up the ball for one because he hasn't got the technique or the understanding of how to hold ball up and how to hold off the defender. That's what it's all about. It doesn't matter how small you are, how big you are. If you've got the technique and know how to hold a defender off, you can do it. You look at Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes is only 5'10" or something, but he would hold up the ball really well. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're looking at this guy, you're saying he's tall and thing. Look at Kanu. Kanu is the same stature as this guy. Hold up the ball really well because you've got to learn. It's a technique. It's not about the size. It's about having a bit of strength, bit of wiry strength, but knowing how to feel your defender and receive the ball with your back to goal and link up the play like that without getting bullied. That's what I think it's about, and I think he's got that about him because you look at Rasmus. Rasmus is big and strong, and he runs hard, he works hard, all kind of thing. You think he hasn't got the technique to hold the ball up. It takes him. It's like hot potato trying to keep hold of the ball when he's trying to keep it from the defender. Always gets pinned, and we're always sighing, "Oh man." That won't be happening with Ekitike. Trust me.
Is there anything to be said for free agent Jonathan David?
No. Nobody wants him.
No.
Not even his guy.
Yeah, nobody wants him. Literally nobody's touching him at all. I thought about David a long time ago, but no, literally nobody. But I mean, I love this because obviously I'm back on here now doing a lot more of the Man United stuff. I've been slumming it with a Tottenham channel, and when they're talking to me about stuff, I'm like, bro, I couldn't give a toss about what you're talking about. I don't care. But this gets me pumped. This pumps my blood going. Look, Ekitike, yes, he has got the physical attributes to be able to do what you're asking him to do. He can hold up a player and everything like that. Yes, he played well against a very poor Tottenham side because they're just as bad as what we have been this season. Let's be real. But Gyökeres has done it against the bigger teams. He like you're saying, has he got the capability to do that? And if he goes against a Premiership defence, which is solid, they're going to get ripped apart. He handled City's back line like they weren't even there.
They had a young player playing. He targeted him. The youngster.
Well, but that's what we need. We've got Rasmus Højlund who's targeting Virgil van Dijk. We need somebody with a bit of brain, a bit of IQ to be like, right, there's their weak link. I found it. I'm going to go at him and at him and at him and at him and at him constantly. And that's what we need. I mean, if we get Ekitike, obviously I'm going to support the lad. I hope he does really well. I just don't think he's the right person at this moment in time.
Let's hit those likes, guys. We need another 10. That's what we're looking for, another 10. Appreciated. Tottenham till I die. Big up, man. Big up, Colm and Rebel and the United lads. How dare you? Yeah. I'm not going to say that. How dare you come on here preaching your happiness? It's all right. It's all right. You hurt us for a day. Your glory will last a long, long time. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Super Cup. Another trophy that is a chance of you winning. I want to see how much PSG put past your lads. But look, fair play. We were shit. You were shit. We were just shit up. But look, it's one of those things, isn't it? But yeah, big up for the donation, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Can I just say big up to Dermot as well? I did a small bit of work with Colm on that Tottenham channel, and it is very hard talking about a club you have no connection with, so it's refreshing to be talking about United.
There you go. Listen, Tyrone, losing to Spurs will never hurt. It was embarrassing, and it hurt, man. I had my bridges running around my head top. It hurt. Sorry, we cut you off. Sorry.
There was some breaking news from the gaffer. Now, he said that if the wonderful people in our chat over in Twitter and on YouTube get us to the 4,000 subscribers before, and I mean before the season starts, there may be a little giveaway in it for you, that there might be a Whittle jersey in it. So do with that what you will, folks. If you can get us to 4K, there may be a little giveaway for you. But you have to get us there first.
There you go. Talking about getting us there, look, we've got players who want to leave. There's players who we want to get out of the club. Our printing list was published today. I wrongly assumed that Cunha would be getting the number 10 shirt when he came to the club. Anthony and Sancho have both been omitted from that list, but Rashford is still on the list. Guys in the chat, thoughts, guys on the panel, let me hear your thoughts.
Mine's short and sweet. I think Anthony, they know, is already gone. Sancho, they don't give a continental hooch about. They want him out. And Rashford, they're kind of thinking, well, we still have some residual value in him. And we need to kind of give the impression that we want him to the other clubs. And that's why he's got a squad number.
I agree with two of them. I don't agree with the Rashford thing. Rashford has a squad number because Barcelona are going after Williams, and that's why Rashford has a squad number. His dream is gone. They're going after Nico Williams now. They don't want Rashford no more, and we've got nobody else that's willing to come in to pay for Rashford. I mean, I saw that Spurs were linked with Rashford, but I mean, they're never going to give Rashford the money he wants. You know, it's a bit like the Sancho situation with Chelsea. So yeah, I agree with the Anthony one 100%. But yeah, Rashford's here because he's got nowhere to go.
It's really interesting. I mean, Mr. B, you've just the way you've dropped it. You said players going out haven't been given shirt numbers, but Rashford's got a shirt number. So we do have to discuss this. I mean, Rebels trashed it. Columns sort of not so much trashed it, but sort of saying, yeah, it's a ploy to get him out of the club. I'm not so sure. The main thing is like, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. And I said Rashford needs to go. I said a lot of things about Rashford. I called him Trashford at one point a couple of seasons ago because of his performances. I think him going to Aston Villa, coming out of the club, maybe he's falling out with the manager. The manager wasn't part of the plans. I don't think he fits into the manager's plans. Where does he play? I don't think he's a striker. I think he's better off coming off the left in a different system. So playing him in a 10, I don't think that works if we're getting Bremo and Cunha. So where does he fit in? Now I'm okay to turn around and say, all right, all is forgiven, you know, because he's still a talented player. But where would he fit into our system? Where would he fit into the side? He wants to be a priority. He wants to, at his age, he wants to be playing. There's a big World Cup next year, isn't there? Wherever he goes next season, he needs to be playing regular football. Because you remember Thomas Tuchel played him initially, put him in the last squad, didn't he? So that must give him excited, say, right, I need to find a club. So maybe he's come back knowing that, thinking, like you're saying, Barcelona might not want him. Maybe he can turn around, knock on the manager's door and say, look, do you forgive me? Can I come back? Is there any room for me to come back in the side? And then they have to have a discussion about it. I'd rather have Rashford in there than not, as long as he's a positive influence. That's the main thing, because the culture has to change. Whether he's part of that bad culture from the past, I'm not sure. I think he is a bit, but if he can change his attitude, be it and contribute better, and maybe sit on the bench and come off the bench and do something, and not hog a place where we've got a youngster coming through, then I would consider it. But I don't know whether all the fans like you, Mr. B, or anyone in the comments would consider having him back after you feel you've turned your back on him. That's the question.
There's a lot of other issues going on. I mean, Solo, I said I put your message up, but I don't think you understand the true. You have your reasons for wanting Rashford back and hoping that he does well. You're living in a dream world, man. He's gone. Would he be on the tour? Maybe, and maybe they contractually they can't give Cunha the number 10 shirt yet until Rashford's actually gone, physically gone. Sancho and obviously Anthony, that's good. That's whatever money they're gonna get for him. I think the fact that Rashford still doesn't know where he's going. I said I didn't realize that they were going in for Nico Williams. Barcelona, but even then, that cuts Rashford's options down to what, 0. He was at Villa. They didn't want him. I don't assume he's willing to take a pay cut to go to anywhere other than Barcelona, his dream club. So people are talking like he may well be back. He may well be back. He may well be back. The issue is Amorim doesn't want him back.
I don't understand why we're letting players dictate what they're doing. Why we hold the power. United hold the power. There's a World Cup or a Euros or whatever it is in a year's time. I'd be going if I'm the manager of Manchester United right now. I'd be like, fair enough. You don't want to leave, you can stay. Go train with youth, because you're not going to get into our team, which means you're not going to get into your World Cup. And at that point, they'll go, "Oh crap, I need to do something here," and then they'll push for the move. They'll go somewhere because they want to be in this World Cup squad. But Manchester United's too freaking nice. They're like, "Oh no, yeah, it's okay. You can come and play for us. It's fine. It's fine. You go sit on this bench and we'll pay you £300,000 a week, no matter how you play or anything. It's okay. It's okay. And we'll make sure you're getting game time so you can go in World Cup as well. Don't you worry. Even though you've done fuck all for us in the last 3 years, we'll still give you all this." No,
you didn't make the watership there, Colin. Swear jar.
It's fine, mate. Honestly, right? My swear jar's going to get fuller than Mr. B's, I'm telling you.
Can I ask a question, actually? Every single Bumbleclat season, we're looking at transfers at the start of the transfer window. We're still talking about them in the middle of the transfer window. And then we're buying a Fellaini on the last day of the transfer window just to cover our behinds. We're looking at Liverpool. They're pretty much all their transfers done. City, pretty much all their transfers done. Chelsea are in around having all their transfers done. We've got one of the 4 minimum that we need. Are we ever going to stop being an embarrassing shell of an organisation and actually get our players in before we get on a bloody plane for a pre-season tour?
Rebel, see, and this is where this is the test for the owners. I mean, let's be honest. There's no point in us going out to pre-season if we don't have at least 3 of the 4. You say 4. I think we probably need 6 to be fair, Rebel. But you say 4. We need to get on the plane with 3 or 4 of them. Kun is in. I do believe Mbeumo's going to be done. My biggest issue is central midfield. Of all of the positions that we're talking about, Ugarte, I don't think is going to cut the mustard next season. Bruno playing in there, I still have real doubts about. And I think we need somebody who might have to do 2-man running in there. So that's more the part that I'm worried about. Look, we can discuss that further in this season when we're actually linked to a midfielder that we think we might want to buy. Guys, there's a good number of you guys in the chat, man. There's 68 of you guys watching, man. Hit the like button. If you are only passing, if you have found us for the first time, hit the subscribe button. We are here, say every night at 9 o'clock. I was going to say most nights. We're here every day during the week at 9 o'clock, and the weekend there's always a surprise or two to to be popping up. Guys, we've been rambling for 50 minutes. Is there anything else you guys in the chat want to talk about? You guys on the panel want to talk about? I've spoken about mine, so anything else you want to get on your chest?
Well, I just want to say there's a lot of great sport over the weekend. Golf, we had the tennis, we had the Formula One. Did anyone see Lewis Hamilton had his race hampered because he ran over a groundhog? Did anyone see that?
Oh,
Lewis Hamilton came 6th, but he was in no man's land because he was losing half a second a lap because he ran over a groundhog. You know, an actual groundhog ran on the track, ran over it. It damaged his underneath, and it started making him lose time. So I just thought, wow, of all the things to go wrong, you know, for Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, go look. This is really interesting. The Rashford thing, I think, stirred people up. We can see how Colin was raging about it. He's obviously wants him out of the club. I'm not so sure. I'd like to see how it goes with that, but he could contribute something to the Man United Football Club. Also, Jadon Sancho wasn't given a number, but I saw in the comments that reminded me he hasn't gone yet. Where's he going to go? Who's going to take him and his big wage packet and his bad attitude? So it's not as easy as, as said. I understand what you're saying, Rebel, but I do think we're improving in that area, getting players ready. I don't think it's going to be lastminute.com transfer last day, getting players in. I think we've shown already the interest and acting upon it with the two signings, in Mbeumo and Cunha. And by the way, while I'm talking about Cunha, I like him even more now. I've saw the interview. Did anyone see the interview on MUTV he gave? Yeah. It's really refreshing, and he's going to become a fan favourite for me, no doubt, soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing him blow up. He's ready to go.
Well, just on your comment about Sancho there, 4 minutes ago, this has come out 4 minutes ago. Several Saudi teams, including Al Hilal, have inquired to Manchester United about conditions of a deal for Jadon Sancho.
Can you
5 million.
Yeah, you know what? We've got 5 million already. Yeah, 5 million paid wages taken. Yeah, whatever he wants to get paid after that, take him. Yeah, just take the money.
Because the issue is, obviously, Sancho doesn't want to take a wage cut. The Saudis won't care about that. They'll give him a big wage. So, on your bike, see you in a bit. Enjoy the Saudi League.
And just to wind people up even more, I heard as well that we're not getting rid of Onana. I know a lot of people have done with him, have had it with him. Apparently, the manager actually likes him and gets on with him. So, like in any
so
team,
what? I get on with you. I would never want you to be my goalie.
Exactly. You're a manager. You manage a team. You need personalities in the team that make it more fun to be there for away trips, for training. There's something about Onana that the manager likes. It's good to have around the club. He doesn't want to get rid of him. It doesn't sound like it's for football reasons. He didn't say, I don't want to get rid of him because he's a great goalkeeper. He just said he's got a good personality or something along them lines. So it looks like he's staying. So get ready for more Onana.
There's no point in doing everything else. Yeah, well, come on, man. All jokes aside. All jokes aside. There's no point in doing the rest of the work for a team. The rest of the work. No, we've seen him make so much errors. We've seen him say, even when he makes saves, the ball is bouncing in, a position that you don't really expect it to be bouncing to. So, I would rather for my own sanity that he wasn't there, because as soon as he makes the mistake that he knows going to come, it just I'm glad he likes him. I'm glad he gets on with him, but I don't think that makes much sense, man. Honestly, I don't think that the issue might be that nobody wants to buy him. That's more why he's saying that they'll have to keep it. Because nobody's banging on anybody's door to be taking bloody Andre Onana. Come on, man. Let's be serious.
My final points, anyway, are very short. Number one is Eric Ten Hag has 150 million thanks to the Scousers. So come get your boys, lads. We have them ready. Their passports are ready. Their bags are packed. Come on, get them. And we'll send them straight to Germany for you. And the second one is, how embarrassing has the Club World Cup been for FIFA? Nobody gives a bare toss about it. They had to move people from the seats that they bought into a more condensed picture because they wanted to give the impression that the stands are full. Nobody even wanted to take up the rights to show the thing. They're showing it on DAZN for free and C5 on the terrestrial channels in England. What an embarrassing competition it has been for FIFA. And I hope to God we never see the bloody thing again.
Would you have been more interested in if United were in it?
No.
Yes.
Rebel, you've nodded and you've shaken your head and you still have said nothing.
I've been looking at Andrew's comment and it kind of caught me as you were talking. But here's the thing with it. Let's call a spade a spade. What team in world football is going to have the firepower of the German teams, the Spanish teams, the Italian teams, the top European leagues? We watched Bayern Munich at a walking pace win 10-0, and the prize money for it in a season that's already over-congested, going to tire up players even further, more than likely give concern for more soft tissue injuries during what is already an overpacked Premier League season, along with all that international BS that we'll have in the not too distant future. The calendar was already overflowing with fixtures. We've thrown in an extra set of fixtures. Granted, it's only supposed to be every 4 years anyway, but it's too much football, and we need to have some bit of player welfare involved, even if they are professional footballers earning bare money every single week to go out there and play a game of ball. It just does not make sense. And I think the clubs only get, 75 million?
Only, yeah. Not
No,
much.
but what did that get you in terms of running a football club? Like, 75 million probably doesn't even pay the insurance for the year on the players. Does it?
I don't know. But I will say this. We will end up watching it once we get to the closing stages. I'm very interested in, seeing Messi, his team, with all those ex-Barca players play against the Egyptian side. I think that was a great game. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people are talking about that. And obviously, there's other sides. There might be a standout player. I think it's good in a way, Rebel. When you got a side like Auckland, I played in Auckland, for North Shore United, 23 years ago, and their football was well behind. It wasn't at a level. And now they're still not at a level, but if they keep playing competitions, but the problem is they're playing against, say, Papua New Guinea, regional teams like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who they're never going to improve. So by playing in competitions like this, it will help them, their players, maybe raise their standard. And that's what FIFA tries to do. They try to spread money all around the globe to raise the level of football. And you're not going to get any better or if you're just playing these standard teams around your region, like the Fiji Islands or Papua New Guinea or Cook Islands, whatever. That's what New Zealand are playing. So even though they got a spanking, they will improve. I remember in 1988, John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, and them boys, they whooped Turkey 8-0. But Turkey improved. See how European football has grown? San Marino and Andorra don't get whooped anymore, do they? Like they used to. So that's the only way you're going to improve, by having competitions like this and these club sides getting whooped and learning how to play at a high level. It's a great experience for them. And I just think it's a good thing in that respect. But I do think I heard the Chelsea manager complaining about the fatigue, like you said there, Rebel. And thank God Man United down here. Thank God Man United down in Europe, because maybe you can really focus on one domestic competition, which will be the Premier League.
Yeah, we did the league in it, Yava.
While these other teams will be knackered.
Well, look, let's hope that they come back and they start the season really, really drained. That gives us a slight advantage. Let's hope they go deep into it. Both reach the semi-final, both lose. None of their players get injured, obviously, and they come back absolutely shattered. Talking of being shattered, we've been talking for an hour. We had a constant 60 of you in the chat, so let's hope that we've got more than the 27 likes that I think we are actually on. Guys, we will be back tomorrow. As usual, I might not be hosting tomorrow, which is great. I can just sit back and relax and make sure I have a couple of drinks before the show. If not, then I will be here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Hopefully we will have some more positive news to talk about. But yeah, Cole, again, man, I got to show the love on here, man. I appreciate your hard work, bro. Thank you very much.
It's all right, no worries. Keep going forward.
Rebel, are you back tomorrow, man?
More than likely, same bat time, same bat channel.
Thank you very much. Yava, are you going to be back tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm always here. I just want to say big up to everyone who's tuned in today. Thanks for all the support for many years with a lot of you, some newcomers as well. This is the Man United agenda. We involve everybody, a lot of participation. We read your comments. We read your comments as well. And we really rate all the support. I see Linville cheerleading for us as well, rallying the troops to get us up to 4K. That's the next target. Hopefully we'll reach there soon by the start of the season. But it's all down to you guys. We're a fan-based channel. Rebel, just knock your head to one side. It says Man United Agenda fan channel. It's all about you guys, and we appreciate every one of you. Thank you.
Right. With that, it's La Canocha. We are out.